Namaskar and welcome back to Stat Skill Hub. I'm Dr. Asha Jindal. Today I will focus on how to read and interpret histograms effectively. A histogram is often misunderstood in exams and practical analysis. By the end, you should confidently describe shape, spread, and peaks. I will also connect this to skewed distribution like gamma, which is very common in real life data of claim settlement, rainfall, and waiting time in queue. There are four main goals. Understand structure, which includes axes and bins, that is class intervals. Next, identify distribution, shape. Next, interpret skewness. Fourth, one is avoid common mistakes. In exams, students lose marks in interpretation and not drawing. A histogram represents continuous data, unlike bar charts. The key visual feature is that bars touch each other. Each bar shows frequency within range, which is also known as class interval or bins. Histogram are used for metric data, continuous data, and not categories. In anatomy of a histogram, x-axis shows class intervals, which is known as bins or range. Y-axis shows frequencies. Bars are continuous and touching, like earlier slide. Touching bar implies continuous data. Gaps implies categorical data based on bar chart. Always describe three things. First one, shape. Next is spread. And third is peaks. This is a standard answer structure in exams. Missing any one reduces marks. There are four main shapes of types of distribution. First one, symmetric, where mean becomes the median and equal tails are there. Next is positively skewed, where mean is greater than median and it is a right-tailed distribution. Negatively skewed means mean is less than median and tail extends to left. Pi model means two distinct peaks indicates subgroups. Skewness is always determined by the tail, not the bulk of data. When you write a model answer, always follow a structured sentence. The histogram shows distribution of so and so variable, then mention shape, mention spread, mention peak. Use precise terms like approximately symmetric, moderate spread, unimodal. Common errors include students often confuse histogram with bar chart, ignore the bin width, misidentify skewness. Biggest mistake they do is looking at where the data is concentrated instead of tail direction. In Jamovi, you can walk through by going to the descriptives, then selecting variable, and then tick marking histogram. The software generates the histogram automatically. Focus is not on creation, but on interpretation. I'm going to use the iris dataset, a standard dataset in statistics. The variable sepal length is continuous. This makes it ideal for histogram analysis. Just keep in mind, interpretation remains the same regardless of dataset. So here, this is my iris dataset in Jamovi. This is the sepal length variable. I will go to the analysis tab, exploration, descriptives, click on sepal length, and this arrow will move it to variables. Then go to the plots, click on histogram. Immediately histogram has appeared. I can click on density. So you have seen that there is a frequency curve is superimposed on histogram. You can right click on this image, copy. It is being copied, and its interpretation is the histogram shows the distribution of sepal length. The distribution is slightly right skewed, meaning there are a few higher sepal length values stretching towards 8 centimeter. Most of the observation are clustered around 5.5 to 6.5. Spread is around 4.3 to 7.9, indicating moderate variability. And density curve highlights the overall pattern, suggesting somewhat multimodal structure, which happens because the dataset combines multiple species. The bump in the curve hints that there may be distinct subgroups. Always mention about shape, comment on spread, use correct statistical terminology, observe whether bars touch. A histogram is not just a graph, it tells a story about data. Hence, always analyze shape, spread, peaks, and always remember symmetric implies balanced curve, right skewed curve indicates gamma distribution behavior. Thank you. Happy learning.